Hey, let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right, so this video, um, I did this video because there are a lot of heterosexual people who look down on gays. You know, anytime you really think about like sexual sin, the first thing that comes to mind is homosexuality. And I just feel like heterosexual people take this notion, well, I can go and have sex with 5 and 6 different women because that's a man and a woman. So, God ain't going to send me to hell for that. That's how, and do all take this approach? No, but that's how you make it seem. And there are a lot of things that people do not understand about sex. You don't understand. And the first thing we're going to talk about is sodomy. What is the actual definition of sodomy? Okay? Because I've already shown you. So this is my page. I've already shown you see the first 3 videos, then that first video on the second column. I've already shown you the truth about Sodom and Gomorrah. I've already told you. See, a lot of y'all like to sit up and think that, oh, it was just all about gay people. Nope. Did you know that 4 times a year they were having orgies in Sodom and Gomorrah? They were having orgies. And it was heterosexual people. Okay? They were having orgies. They were also doing pedophilia. And not homosexual pedophilia. It was heterosexual pedophilia, where men were taking other men's young virgin daughters. And virgin don't always mean like you ain't had sex. Virgin means young maiden. But I've already showed y'all. I've already talked about this. This is my YouTube page. Look, it's even right here. Truth about Sodom and Gomorrah. It's a repost. But I've shared it previously before. All I'm going to say is that if you are a part of the LGBTQIA, you really are doing yourself a disservice by not watching my Truth About Sodom and Gomorrah video, because, baby, you are going to gag. You are going to gag. The first time I said it and I think I said it in my previous video, the first time I heard the real story, man, I wanted to fight. Man, I wanted to fight so many pastors, man. I wanted to whoop their ass. Like the first time I heard the real story about Sodom and Gomorrah. So wait a minute. You mean to tell me that God sent these angels here in the first place is because they was coming together and starving people, and they burned Lot's daughter for trying to help a man, for feeding a man? That's why the angels were sent. And then when they got there, they tried to rape them. And then this whole narrative is thrown at gay people. Baby, I wanted to throw down. I was pissed. This was over 10 years ago. But I was pissed because it's like, y'all take this whole narrative and throw it at gay people. And gay people, you do yourself a disservice. See, your whole narrative is, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not. No, and that's where you fucked up. You should have got your ass in these scriptures and start reading, because it's a lot of stuff that these heterosexual people do that's going to land them right in hell. And so, especially to you black women, who are homophobic. A lot of black women are homophobic, bro. And they don't understand y'all gonna be one of the main ones that's busting hell wide open because of how you are in the church and because of you will be homophobic, but then it's okay for you to have weird, inordinate, immoral relationships with your girlfriends. You know, and how many times have we heard this? How many times have we heard this? Oh, if a woman go and she has a relationship with a woman, you know what I'm saying, and she decides that it's not for her, you know, and she moves on with her life. Oh, she's not a lesbian, but that man could have had one interaction and he's gay for the rest of his life. Even if he gets married, ain't on a DL or anything like that. That double standard stuff is what I'm talking about. That's a double standard. Just like it's a double standard for heterosexual men to think that you can go around sleeping with multiple women. And I'm going to prove that too today that you can't. You can't. A lot of y'all like to use King Solomon, but y'all don't want to look at you only want to take bits and pieces of the stuff that you like. You don't want to take the full picture. Yes, King Solomon had 700 wives. He did. And King Solomon, he broke commandments too, because Israel was supposed to mate with their own. King Solomon he had 700 wives. They weren't all Israel. He had wives from Gentile or who were considered Gentile or heathens. He slept with them. That's how he went off, because the women led him into doing their customs of their country. And that's how he went off. So today, that would be like him celebrating Christmas, him celebrating Valentine's Day. Well, in my country, we celebrate Valentine's Day. You know how y'all like those light skins, those foreign looking women, you know. But King Solomon is not the thing to use, because King Solomon had a great fall. He had a great fall. And after King Solomon, the kingdom was split. So he's not. So every time I hear a brother talk about polygamy and they bring up King Solomon, I'm just like, that's the example you want to use? Because I mean, he was so next, are you going to start indulging in Solomonic magic? Are you going to start communing with the dead? Are you going to start controlling dead spirits? Because he was doing that too. Oh, because you don't want to take the fullness of it. You just want to take the bits and pieces that you like. Oh, you don't want to take the full thing. That's not how this works. Sadi. He was involved in a lot of demonic stuff. And it was because of his 700 wives. And then let's not forget to mention that King Solomon actually had the money to take care of his wives. Pookie and Ray Ray, a lot of the times you don't. I ain't saying it's always like that, but a lot of the times you don't. Anyway, when it comes to polygamy, this is what I tell all women. All women, you better listen up to me. When Noah was told to go in the ark, when he was told to go in the ark, he took one wife. One wife. His sons had one wife. One. not multiple. And then if you start reading like the testaments of the patriarchs, like of the 12 tribes, like for instance, Judah has a testament in the Pseudepigrapha that you can read. It talks about polygamy. Benjamin and Levi, they talk about polygamy. And it's a no-no. It's a no-no. And see, that's the part that they don't like to hear. And that's why I'm here today. Because see, it's so you be so ready to no, you going to hell. Now I see, cause right here it's saying, man lay with man like a woman, then you going to hell. Okay. Okay. Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Cause now I'm about to push the ball back in your court. Do you know what sodomy is? Do you know? This is the definition right here. Sexual intercourse involving anal or oral copulation. Keep in mind with that oral copulation, because a lot of you men's, a lot of y'all like that. Now let me pose some questions to you. Let me pose some questions to you, my brother. This is where it's about to be a lot of crickets, lot of walking away from the conversation, tiptoeing away from the conversation, lot of tiptoeing away. This is where you see heterosexual black men lose accountability. So you stand strong and firm on two men fucking each other up the ass, but then you'll turn around, a lot of you, not all, a lot of you will turn around and you'll fuck your woman up the ass. And you'll say, oh, well, she's a woman. But see, baby, you don't understand sex. And you don't understand what God intended sex to be for. He said to be fruitful and multiply. Not for you to bust 15 orgasms, Miss Thing. Not for you to bust 3 nuts. He said be fruitful and multiply, meaning reproduction, have kids. That's what sex was meant for. To have kids. So when you are screwing her up her butt, are you multiplying? Are you being fruitful and multiplying? Of course you're not. You're getting pleasure, and that's a sin. That's a sin. And what a lot of heterosexual men don't like to hear is the same way that you say that the Most High looks at gay people, you are looked at the same way when you have anal sex and oral sex with your woman. God never intended for Eve to be on her knees giving Adam head in the garden. And if you being real with yourself, you know what I just said is true. God did not intend for Eve to be on her knees sucking Adam's dick. That's not how that was supposed to go. You'll be quick to say, well, 2 men, that ain't how it's supposed to go. Okay, well, let's keep it in your lane. God didn't intend for Eve to be sucking your dick. And guess what? Guess what, Miss Thing? Guess what? God didn't intend for Adam to be in between your legs with his face, getting all that oil on his face. Face coming up looking like a whole baking plate. Just shining and glistening. Let's keep it real, y'all. See, because what I encounter, what I encounter is they only want to keep it real on the gays, on the LGBTQIA, but then when we get to talking about sex, heterosexual sex, and how things were intended, oh no, 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 no. Cause see, you want to keep your pleasure. You want to keep your pleasure, but you want to condemn this group. And I'm sorry, baby, but God don't work like that. I'm sorry that you don't know that. That's why when many heterosexual people get up in judgment, you're gonna gag. See, you spent a lifetime telling the gays where they going and the trans and lesbian. So, they know. They have an idea. But when you go to stand in judgment, Reggie, Kev, Pookie, Killer, when you go to stand in judgment, remember that threesome that you had? Remember that threesome that you had with Keisha and Bianca? Remember that night? Hey, buddy, guess what? You're engaging in homosexual behavior. Because, see, this is another thing that I don't like about heterosexual men and heterosexual women. See, you want to do your threesomes. But then when I say, well, you're engaging in homosexual behavior. Oh, nah, 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 nah. Oh, yes, 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 yes. When you are hitting that girl from the back and her face is in that girl's face, you are making a train. Your energy is connected. Your spirits are aligned together. All three of you. And two of those happen to be the same sex. So you're engaging in that behavior. When you stick your ding dong in that and she's connecting her face to that woman's crotch area, you're engaging in homosexual behavior. Sodomy. That's what you're doing. Sodomy. And you know what? And you want to know how I know? Y'all don't like to take accountability, because I saw an interview with, I think it was an interview that Dr. Yaki did with the three little Hebrew boys, the comedians, DC Young Fly, who, he is hilarious. And Carlos, I think it was Carlos, and I forget the other guy's name, but DC was talking about threesomes, and he didn't realize that that's an orgy. It's an orgy. See, and that's why it's going to be a gag when the heterosexual man gets up to judgment, because, see, you were so focused on the gays and you knew what that was, but you didn't even realize that you are participating in homosexual behavior. I know you don't want to see it that way, but guess what, baby? You're not the judge and I'm not the judge either. But see, the problem is that you have all these views on this community, but you don't want to take accountability for your sexual sin, for the children that you create out of wedlock. Going around slanging that thing, creating broken home after broken, and it takes two. Boom, squeesha. Because if you are participating in creating a broken home. And a lot of y'all do not realize that you are going to be judged the same motherfucking way. You'll turn your nose, oh, that's nasty. But it's okay when it's you screwing a girl and she eating another girl coochie. You can't have, if the gays can't have it all their way, then you can't have it all your way either. You can't have it all your way either. And a lot of y'all don't understand that it doesn't matter if you're married. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you ain't cheating on your woman. He said not to do this, not to work. I believe, what is it in Romans 1? Working that which is unseemly. Well, the asshole is unseemly. So, and the woman got an asshole too. And you have to think, doofus, God is gonna be sitting up there. Well, I designed her. I gave her the hole for you to put that in. Why are you putting it there? I mean, that's even more. I mean, I see the faggots, I see them, but it's even more asinine to me because you have what I designed for you right in your bed, and you're with her, and you're doing the right thing. You're grabbing the breast and you're doing the right thing, but then you take it and put it in and you're working, which is unseemly. Why you doing that? What you doing that for? Crickets. Y'all don't want to accept the fact that y'all engage in sodomy behavior, homosexual behavior. It's a lot of things that y'all don't understand on your side of things. But this is the definition of sodomy. It doesn't say anything about a man or a woman. You want to know why? Because all men and women have mouths, and all men and women have assholes. That's why it doesn't give a gender. Because a man and a woman can commit sodomy. And then let's not talk about, it just came to me. Let's not talk about how you brothers and you sisters in the heterosexual community. Let's not talk about how now the woman is putting on a strap to penetrate her man. And then you try to get around, well, that's still man and woman. No, this is sodomy. That's sodomy. That's sodomy. You are still working that which is unseemly. Because y'all love to go to it. Here it is. And likewise, also the men leaving the natural use of the women. See, can we just focus on that part right there? Can we stop right there? Can we stop right there, please? Okay, so when you laying in bed with your woman, right, and you and her, and guess what, Pookie and Ray Ray and Boom Squeesha, I'm not talking about you that are single and you just hooking up. No, I'm talking to a honorable man. An honorable man, because honorable men don't know this either. Because sometimes there be them honorable men and women who are honorable. They just don't know. They don't know what they don't know. And that's what I'm here to give you something to think about. So, what is the natural use of the woman? The natural use of the woman. Hey, women, do you produce your periods out your mouths? Or is that natural flow come from your womanhood down there? Does it come from your Christmas gift? As my former dance team teacher would say, rest in peace, Miss Rochelle Dunning. Yeah, because see, you was all dancing and stuff, and everybody could see your Christmas gift. I mean, weak for she to say that, man. Oh my God, I miss her. I love black women. I was, I had a village of black women, so I do love you. So you'll see some of my videos sometimes, and it is some of my videos probably would, because I'm not. What I'm trying to say is, black women, I'm not your token. I'm not gonna be the one to um, just side with you. You know, I'm not that type. I'm straight down the middle. And if you wrong, I will tell you that you are wrong. That's the type of friend that I was. Because I don't befriend women anymore. I just don't. I don't believe in friendship. So, but anyway, leaving the natural use of the woman. So, brother, when you married brothers and you marry and there's no problems in your relationship, you ain't cheating on your wife. She ain't cheating on you. Y'all happy, y'all harmonious, but y'all freaky. Y'all freaky. And guess what? A lot of people don't even know y'all that freaky. I'm talking to you. That's who I'm talking to. When you are screwing your woman in the butt, you are leaving the natural use of the woman. That's what that means. The natural use of the woman was to create, was to reproduce. And I know it's gonna be some dumb people in the comments, or some dumb people gonna say, well, not all women have periods. Baby, was that the intended way? Because some babies is born with 6 toes on each foot. Was that intended? How does the majority have 5 toes on each foot? So shit happens. But that's not the majority. That's not the norm. And we all know that. So please don't play dumb with me. Because I've had enough of that from the fucking Christian church. Excuse me for cussing all the scriptures is out. Burn in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly. So when you heard me keep saying working that which is unseemly, because I know these scriptures. Working that which is unseen and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. That means you taking dick up the ass. Excuse my language because the scriptures is out, but that's what that means. Okay, those words were not available back then. Okay, ass meant donkey back when this was written. Okay, today ass has a whole new meaning. Literally. But excuse me, but what I'm saying is true. So that last part right there, receiving in themselves. So that means when you do that to that woman, that's the same thing. Cause her butthole was not made for you to, she already has a hole for you to do that with. That's just how it was intended. So if you want to say, that for gay men, then you have to realize what you do too. You have to realize what you do too. Oral sex is sodomy. It's sodomy. And God is not just, well, this rule is only for these people. No, it's not, it don't work like that. These rules is for everybody in our nation and our people. Now, let me show you something. Genesis 38, verse 7, and Judah's firstborn. So black people come from Judah. Black people come from Judah. So this is one of our ancestors. Judah's firstborn was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. And Judah said to Onan, go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. Oh yeah, because that's another thing that y'all don't want to deal with, and this is on the gay people side too. what I'm about to say next. This is a everybody thing. This is a everybody. You have heard of soul ties, right? I've spoke about soul ties. Juanita Buying That Hoe is not the only one that has spoken about soul ties. When you are having sex with people, you are marrying them. You are literally marrying them. The only thing you haven't done is paid their daddy the dowry. That's it. You already consummated. And guess what? Guess what? To if I to the gays, if I got your attention, see, you want to call it sex work. That's how you look at it. I'm here to let you know the spirit realm does not agree with you. The spirit realm does not agree with you. That's why the money is so good and you can't make a lot of coin off of that, because you are selling your soul. That's why many of you commit suicide. Or you end up going crazy, or you end up in some type of trouble. See, that, and I'm getting off topic, but I need to say this while I'm thinking about it. To my gay people, especially my gay people, because a lot of them I say, oh no, this is just work. No, it's not just work. It's not just work. When your ass get up and stand in judgment, oh yeah, you got 52 husbands. Same for you heterosexual people, because this is an everybody thing. But I only said that previously because I saw somebody, on the Gay Balloon dating show, pop that balloon. I saw them say something along that lines. This is just work. It's not just work. You've talked yourself into believing that. You've talked yourself into believing that. That's why you can't find love. Because you talked yourself into believing this, and it's not true. But I'm not here. And another thing, let me tell you something. I haven't judged you. Anytime judgment comes, death usually follows. If I ain't killed you, I ain't judged you. I can give my opinion and I can give my critique, but I ain't judged you, because I haven't harmed you. I ain't did nothing to you. But said what I had to say. That's why that community is so outrageous, because it's just like they doing a lot of things and they just don't understand how the spirit realm works. You have these entities and they feed off of sexual energy. They feed off of, and so, they paying you for feeding them that sexual energy. But when you having sex with people, you are tying your soul to these people. That's marriage. That's marriage. I've always known that. That's why I don't have a lot of sexual partners. I can go long times without having sex. Like, for instance, it's been 2 years. And the last time I did is only because I thought I was getting into a relationship with somebody. But we wasn't compatible. That's another story. I already told that story. But it's been 2 years for me. So. And I don't have any plans. I'm not seeking anybody. I'm not looking for a relationship or to have sex with anybody. I'm perfectly fine being by myself. Because, baby, what I see out here nowadays, yeah, nah. It's a lot of setups out here. A lot of setups. But here we go. He was supposed to raise up seed to thy brother. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass when he went in unto his brother's wife that he spilled it on the ground. Ain't that the pull-out method? Ain't that y'all pull-out? Ain't that y'all pull-out method that y'all be doing? Here it is right here in the scriptures. Here it is. Don't play dumb, because I hear the girls be saying, "Oh, y'all pull-out game weak." Then my pull-out game strong. Oh, so did you know about the pull-out? Well, here go the pull-out right here. And what happened to him? And the thing which he did displeased the Lord. Yeah, so what about when y'all displeased the Lord? What you think the Lord was displeased for? Oh, so you went and got the pussy. Oh, but she was good enough to sleep with, but you wouldn't do what I told you to do. You didn't listen to Judah, your father, who the Most High probably told Judah that. And that's the way it was done back in those times. Today it's not like that, but this is how it was. And we see it right here in scripture. We see it right here in scripture. He pulled out and he was slain. You want to know why? Because sex was for reproduction. That's what it was for. That's what it was intended for. And notice it don't say nothing about in their encounter that the brother's wife got on her knees and sucked Onan's dick, and then Onan ate her coochie. It don't say nothing like that here. You want to know why? Because that's a sin. That's sodomy. They knew that. And women know this. They not gonna like to hear what I'm saying, but they know that their body naturally does what it needs to do to get that area wet. I'm just keeping it real. And then you're gonna have some women, well, I mean, that's not all women. Well, check your diet. Because when stuff like that happens, we gotta think about it. What kind of foods are you eating? What does your diet look like? I'm just saying. A lot of y'all don't understand, especially in the heterosexual world. Y'all don't understand. Y'all be doing stuff that's gonna land y'all in the same boat, where y'all be homophobic to gay people. Y'all doing the same stuff. Especially with the threesome stuff. A lot of men don't even want to consider it because that's what they like to do. But guess what? When you stand in judgment, it's going to be brought up. So you can't sit up here and be having sex with multiple women, tying your soul to all these women, creating broken homes. And then have the nerve to say, oh yeah, them faggots, yeah, they going to hell. No, you going to hell too. You are. A lot of people, they just want to fornicate. And especially in the LGBTQIA. Especially. I get on my community too because it's like, I feel like a lot of y'all want to sit up and say, oh yeah, I want love. No, you don't. You don't want love. You want to go to the bathhouse and suck 10 dicks. That's what you want to do. You don't want love. When love is presented to you, you run. And that's not my experience because I'm not presenting anything to anybody, but this is what I've seen. No, you want to go to circuit parties. That's what you want to do. No, you want to get on these apps and meet random guys, blank profiles. And then when you get your ass whooped, Then you want to come on, guys. Just a public service announcement. Gotta stop using these apps because, they're becoming so dangerous. I was attacked. They don't want to talk about the sniffies, how it's horrible, man. It's horrible. They want to sit up and play dangerous games, and then when I don't know, I didn't know, I don't know, I didn't know this could happen, I didn't know. Bullshit. You did know. And if you're that dumb to where you don't know, then you don't need a phone. You don't need to be on the app. You don't need to, definitely don't need to be on these apps. I mean, that's real. Oh, wait. Now, because that's another thing about, the community. Anytime you go to say something, oh, you're victim shaming. You should be shamed. You should be. Are you that dense? I mean, you that desperate where you sit up and you just talk to blank profiles? You invite random people over your house. You don't know what they look like. You don't know who they could be, you know? But once again, the community that I come from, they don't like to hear the truth either. That's where we're living at today, where people can clearly see the writings on the wall, but they don't want it to be read out. They don't want it to be read out because they just want to go, and then they want to, something happens, and then they want to be able to say, I didn't know. I didn't know. How did this happen? Because I didn't know. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But that's my thing, man. And this is just a brief, thing that things that I've already talked about. Like, I've already talked about this in the last chapter of my book. I've already, I've told, and I have told heterosexual men, and you will not believe how hard they try to fight when because I had this guy, right? And I was talking to him. We was in a barbershop, and I was just telling him, like, this is when I used to go get my hair cut. Bro, I understand that you have your views about gay people, but you just sat up here and you just told me about a story about you having a threesome with two girls. Do you not realize that you are engaging in homosexual behavior? The brother fought me up and down. No, because see, I'm just with one of the women. I'm like, that's bullshit. It is. It's bullshit. You are engaging in homosexual behavior. It's two women there. They're having sex with each other. Their energy is connecting, intertwining with each other. And what, you just there? This is the hypocrisy of heterosexual people. Their minds is just only geared to see, oh, nope, that's gay. Oh, know where that's going. But I'm telling you, you're going to gag when you stand in judgment. You are going to gag. Guess what, Boom Squeesha? God is not going to care about your, well, I just want, that's the only way I could feel I could show, that I was, God ain't going to care about none of that. Nope. Nope. Because why is it for you? Well, that's the well, I mean, that's the only way I feel like I could, get them and for them to love me. But then when you see a black man walking down the street, fag, your faggot ass. Oh, but you want to be understood when you done got a train ran on you by 5 men though, right? Oh, okay. That's the hypocrisy of the heterosexual black women. And are all black women like that? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is a lot of you are homophobic. And you play a part. You play a part in it too. You do. You play a part. It's all good when these people are your token. And then, I look at I look at a lot of these guys that you can clearly see that they DL. You know they DL. It's one that's on Facebook. He have all these different characters of women in the church. That's another, I don't get it. You want to scream protect black women, right? But then you laugh at the very thing that mocks you. That's the crazy part to me. Is protect black women, but then black women support what's harmful to them. You support it. And then when I come and I point this stuff out, I'm your enemy. Because I'm pointing out your hypocrisy. Just like a lot of black women in the church. Yeah, you were scammed by media. You were scammed by media. Huh? You don't even know who that is. You think I'm trying to say Medea? No, that's what that fool changed the name to. You need to look up M to the E to the DEA. Who the fuck is that? Let me show you. M to the E to the DEA. This person was a witch. And yeah, don't get thrown off by that medicinal magic. Because, yeah, that's bullshit. But known in most stories as a sorceress. And who is the quote unquote goddess? I don't like to pronounce their names, so I'm just gonna take you here, but then show you what this bitch was into. And I've told you this before. You need to read this. Crossroads, magic, witchcraft. So who went to the crossroads in New Orleans, where they from, to make a deal with the devil to sell their soul? But in order to get the fame and money, you have to pull people away from Jesus and lead them to media, M to the E to the DEA. That's an entity. This is how dumb Christians are, man. They don't even get it. They don't get it. See, because they so dumb, they think that the devil's just gonna come show up in some red suit. Okay, so what I'm about to do to you here is, I'm about to create this person, and I'm gonna have you worship them, and then that's gonna pull you away from God. That's what they waiting on. But they can see everything else. They can see that Todd and Candy wasn't gonna make it. They can see that. They can solve everything else, but they can't see when they're being fooled. Who went to the crossroads down in New Orleans, where the voodoo and the magic is very, very strong? Made a deal with the devil to get fame, money, riches. They was already gay. I mean, you heard the interview on Tasha K, and that man is not lying. He got the whole the attitude and everything else from Miss Sophia. Everybody know that now. But he told you the character was based off his aunts and his mother and stuff like this. But then at the same point in time, how close was you to really? How close were you to these people for real? For real, if you was homeless living in a car, come on, man. Y'all need to put two and two together. Who went to the crossroads to get fame, money, and riches, and made a deal. But with the deal, you have to take God's people who don't even know they God's people and lead them astray and make them worship a goddess or a sorceress named Medea, whose boss is this bitch, who is into crossroads. So that's sacrifice. Night, because you do it at night. Light, magic, witchcraft, drugs, and the moon. Come on, y'all. You're so good at solving everything else. I don't see how you can't put this together. You want to know why? Because you don't want to accept it. You want to stay blind. You think you doing work. You think it's just sex work, but this is actually what's going on. A lot of this going on, but hey, this that face that you black woman in the church be making when the pastor got you hooked. When I see this face, she about to give up all her money. And then when the magic wear off, she gonna make this face again because she gonna be in full of regret. Just like that lady that gave that $1,200 and some odd dollars. Just thought I'd point that out. See? See, I only got an hour, but y'all see that? See, I've been talking about this stuff. This is picture 5,905 of 6,016, okay? Yeah, and you see when I posted this? You see how many pictures? Get out of here. Tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm looking for a picture so I can end this. Hey, Pan-Africans, I was into some weird stuff too, but this is the picture I was looking for right here. See? You better be careful. During sex, you become a spiritual sponge for the conscious and energy of the other person. So what happens when you have three and you're engaging? It's just what I just said, sir, ma'am. But see, it's you, the heterosexual that wants, nah, that ain't it. Nah, this is it. And this is the end result. When you want to do your little threesomes, but then you want to have all these opinions about gay people, guess what? You're engaging in sodomite behavior. Don't give a damn what you think or what you say. I'm going to just take you through some of these pictures. And you can see for yourself. Maybe you might want to see one that you want to come look at. I don't know. It was a guy that was it's a guy that it's a guy that was my family. It's a guy that did an interview that followed ISUPK and IUIC, which are both clowns organizations in the Hebrew organization. I would never want to be a part of IUIC or associated with them or UPK or whatever they called. But the guy, he shadowed them and he did interviews and he was trying to come up and say, oh, they can't distinguish bloodlines and stuff like that. Then he wanted to bring up the transatlantic slave trade in his video. He was biased. He was biased. And what makes me know that he is biased, because you want to bring up the transatlantic slave trade, but you don't want to talk about none of the literature that proves that we are the Israelites. And I ain't in no camp. God never instructed me to go into a camp. You do not need a camp. Y'all might see old friends on here, but I don't have any friends today. Oh, and this is, so if you are native, you definitely need to look at this. American Indians by James Adair. You definitely need to look at that. See, this is the stuff that they don't want to deal with. They don't want to deal with what the scholars have already addressed and have established. Men that do stuff like this. So this is the guy that I'm talking about. See, I watched his first video, fact checking the Hebrew Israelites, ISUPK. And I think he met with IUIC too. It's so ironic to me how these guys, they love to go to the clown organizations, to the organizations that say the most outlandish stuff, be wrong on their doctrine, be wrong on a lot of stuff. So to this brother, I'm going to say this. I'll respect you when I see you go talk to somebody reputable. Not me, because I'm going to cuss you out. But somebody like GOCC, and I'm keeping it real, because I watched this video and I've already determined that you are biased. You are biased. See, he don't want to talk. See, he don't want to bring up stuff like this. He don't want to bring up the records, the proof, the history. I've uncovered all of this. And then, the questions that I'm going to pose to him would be, well, okay, you said that, because he did bring up the limba at the very beginning of the video, and he said that they were recognized by the Israeli. So, you accept the limba because they were recognized by the Israeli. So that means that you accept those people as the real thing. But I have literature that can disprove that through their own encyclopedias, through their own works. And so when you bring up the transatlantic slave trade, and then you don't want to deal with the literature that speaks about the transatlantic slave trade, like from Babylon to Timbuktu, and how it literally says that the Jewish, the slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. You want to neglect the fact that the Igbo were one of the main sought out tribes. The Igbo are direct descendants of the black Jews. And I mean, you good at going to follow people and question them. So I guess you'll be going to follow T.D. Jakes and questioning him, because he even came out and said it, that the Igbo people were black Jews. See, they want to go after certain groups within the Hebrew community because these guys are ridiculous. They do ridiculous things, like having people kissing their boots and stuff like that. I don't agree with none of that. And I've already shown that right here. My core beliefs. In these two videos, I'm using scripture. I'm telling you, I'm breaking it down. I don't think that all white people are going to hell, because the Bible does not say that. There will be other nations in the kingdom. The Bible says that. And with these right here, I take